Today, the essence of visual poetry, street-whispered narratives, and the dance of light and shadow convene as we delve into the world through the lens of Joel Meyerowitz. Henry, Gary, Robert, Helmut. Let's dissect, debate, and perhaps demystify.
Meyerowitz? Ah, the chap who dared to paint the streets with color. He ventured where we were rooted in monochrome. New York City, 1963, a spectacle of the mundane magnified. Color is an illusion, a distraction. Illusion? Distraction? Henry, you're as stubborn as a Leica in a wet Parisian night. Color breathes life. Meyerowitz's Florida 1970 is not just a photograph, it's a slice of time, vibrant and pulsating. Our art must evolve with technology, not hide from it.
Man's got a point, Henry. The world isn't in black and white. Meyerowitz's Camel Coats Fifth Avenue 1975 captures the spectrum of life. His move to color was a bold leap, an authentic representation. It's not about distraction, it's truth.
Truth, perhaps, but what truths are we seeking? Meyerowitz's urban landscapes, his fragmented narratives, there's a melancholy there, a restlessness. St. Louis and the Arch 1977 isn't just a picture, it's a feeling, a mood that transcends color or lack thereof.
Mood, yes, truth, perhaps. But let's not be prudes about technique. Meyerowitz's switch to large format in his landscape work, say in Red Interior Provincetown 1977, it was bold, it demanded precision. It was a visionary move. He captured light, and with it, the essence of a moment.
Visionary indeed, but what of ethics? Joel's candid photography capturing unsuspecting subjects.
Ah, the age-old debate. Meyerowitz, like us, sought to document the world. It's about rebellion, capturing life as it is, not as it pretends to be. Street photography is truth, raw and unfiltered.
Exactly, Robert. Meyerowitz didn't exploit, he celebrated. Our streets, our cities, our chaos. It's life, pure and unscripted. Whether it's Madison Avenue 1975 or Kiss Me Stupid 1968, it's raw, it's real.
And then the transition from film to digital. A brave new world, and Meyerowitz adapted, evolved. Aftermath, World Trade Center Archive, digital's capacity for immediacy, capturing the profound, the tragic. Still, the soul of photography lies in the negative, in the darkroom's alchemy. Digital, with all its immediacy, lacks this tactile essence.
Perhaps, Henry, but as Meyerowitz's journey shows us, from the streets of New York to the landscapes of light, it's adaptation, evolution. The medium may change, but the quest remains to capture, to preserve, to provoke.
Evolution, adaptation, whether it's technique, medium, or perspective, that's what keeps our art alive. Meyerowitz knew this, as should we.
And so, our discussion begins, not just of a photographer, but of photography itself, its essence, its boundaries, and its future. Let's dive into the crux of the matter. Joel Meyerowitz's journey through the veins of New York City in the 60s set a precedent in street photography. Gary, your impulsive style mirrors his energy. Share your thoughts.
Joel's New York City 1963 wasn't just a photograph. It was an uprising. The streets were talking, and Meyerowitz, like me, just listened. Our cameras were extensions of our bodies, capturing the rhythm of the streets. My Leica and his Leica were conduits for the city's pulse.
The man walked into the world and thought he could encapsulate its essence in color? New York City, 1963, had its charm, but color is a veil on the reality of the moment. The decisive moment belongs to the realm of black and white. Color is bullshit, distracts from the skeleton of time we're trying to uncover.
Yet, isn't there emotional depth in Meyerowitz's urban landscapes? A kind of restlessness that color uniquely portrays. This depth, this feeling of being adrift in a metropolis, is something I've tried to encapsulate as well. We're not just capturing moments, we're sealing emotions within frames.
Henry, you're stuck in the past. Color is not a veil, it's an amplifier. Florida, 1970. Camel Coats, Fifth Avenue, 1975. These are not just snapshots, they are revelations. Meyerowitz's color work exposes the vibrancy of life, a departure from tradition, sure, but a necessary evolution. My own experiments with solarization and rayographs were similar leaps into the avant-garde. We must evolve or perish. Evolution? Call it what you will. To me, it feels more like a betrayal of what photography stands for. The black and white image demands the viewer's attention to form, to light, to essence. Inject color, and you distract the mind with frivolities.
Betrayal, that's a strong word, Henry. Joel's work in color celebrated life, made the banal extraordinary. Take Camel Coat's Fifth Avenue, 1975. The color in that scene, ordinary people transformed into icons, the street into a stage. His transition was brave. You cannot confine the world to monochrome.
Color or black and white, the essence of Meyerowitz's philosophy is clear. He sees the world through his lens, capturing it as he perceives it, not as the world expects to be seen. Whether it's the chaotic streets of New York or the tranquility of Cape Light, his work provokes a response, transcends the mundane. Let's dive into the visceral debate of color versus black and white in urban photography. Joel Meyerowitz embraced color boldly, but has this choice elevated or diluted the narrative strength of his work? Henry, your thoughts?
Color is bullshit for the depth of real life. It distracts from the essence, the soul. In Madison Avenue, 1975, Meyerowitz betrays the profound with the superficial. The decisive moment is not about hue, but the configuration of truth, reality's skeleton laid bare. Like in my Behind the Gare Saint-Lazare, it is the geometry of the moment, not the palette, that strikes. Ah, Henry, your view is as quaint as it is obsolete. Color is not a betrayal, but an evolution. Meyerowitz in Florida 1970 liberates us from the monochrome shackles. Art evolves, as should our tools. My experiments were aimed at bending reality, and color is a formidable ally in this quest. Life is not in grayscale.
Both of you speak from corners of the past. Meyerowitz's Camel Coat's Fifth Avenue, 1975, is a symphony, a pulsating metropolis caught in vivid technicolor. Life is color. We dream in color. Meyerowitz's street scenes are alive because they bleed, they breathe in Kodachrome.
Dreams may be in color, Gary, but nightmares lurk in the shadows. The melancholy in Meyerowitz's Porcelain Trays Paris 1967 could easily be lost in a carnival of color. In my travels, the stories I sought were spelled out in gradients of black and white. Color often whispers when silence would be more profound.
Your romanticism of monochrome is endearing, Robert, but ultimately a limitation. Meyerowitz's work, like my own, explores not just the frame, but the explosion of reality within it. Cape Light exemplifies how color can cast shadows and depth, not just aesthetically, but emotionally. To ignore color is to mute the symphony of life.
So it seems the debate on color's merit in capturing the urban fabric is as multifaceted as the medium itself. Joel Meyerowitz's choice to embrace color has both critics and champions among us, reflecting the broader dialogue within photography. Whether a dilution or an elevation, his work undeniably compels us to confront our perceptions of reality and the ways we choose to represent it. Let's delve into the impact of Joel Meyerowitz's Cape Light and how his use of light transformed photography. Helmut, your thoughts?
Meyerowitz's Cape Light was audacious. The way he played with light, it was more than just illumination. It was the soul of the photograph. This approach, the daring to use natural light to such daring effect, it speaks to a perfectionist, but also someone unafraid to let nature dictate the art.
It's melancholic, yes, but also restless. Meyerowitz captured light not just as a photographic tool, but as a narrative force. His work, especially in Cape Light, tells stories where light shapes the mood, much like my work attempts to capture the underbelly of American life.
It does have an introspective quality, doesn't it?
Precisely. It's like he's using the light to peel back layers, to show something more introspective.
But let's not get carried away. It's light, yes. It shapes, it defines. But Meyerowitz's real genius in Cape Light was in seeing the extraordinary in the mundane, the way the ordinary becomes extraordinary through his lens.
This obsession with light, it's a diversion. The real essence of a photograph is its moment, not the play of light and shadow. His work in Cape Light is impressive, but remember, the essence of street photography is the decisive moment. These landscapes, they miss the urgency of life. Ah, but you missed the point. The avant-garde use of color in Meyerowitz's work, it broke new ground. It was unlike anything before. Cape Light and his transition to color, it's akin to my experimental work. Color can convey emotions and nuances that black and white never could. Meyerowitz's light is not just light, it's the spectrum of life itself.
His use of color certainly marked a departure from tradition. Does that make the impact of Cape Light more significant?
It's a transformation. His leap into color, the meticulous attention to light in Cape Light, it's like stepping from a dim room into the sun. What Meyerowitz did was not just document scenes, he painted them with light.
But remember, light, color, these are just tools. The real power lies in what they reveal about our world, our society. Cape Light does this, but so do his street scenes. There's a connection, an underlying thread.
Tools, yes, but the color, it embellishes. Reality needs no embellishment. Meyerowitz knew this once. But embellishment, as you call it, Henry, can sometimes reveal more than the starkness of black and white. It can show the world in all its variegated complexity, much like my own endeavors to push boundaries of the medium.
It's that complexity, that daring, which makes Meyerowitz's use of light in Cape Light riveting. It's not just about capturing light, it's about capturing life.
So it seems we can agree Meyerowitz's manipulation of light and color, especially in Cape Light, not only showcases his technical prowess, but also his deep, almost philosophical engagement with the medium of photography. He sees beyond the surface, using light and color to explore deeper truths. Let's delve into the murky waters of ethics in candid photography. Joel Meyerowitz, with his unflinching capture of public life, thrusts us into the debate. Where do we draw the line in capturing the unguarded moments of the unsuspecting?
The streets are a stage, life unabashedly unfolds, and to capture this essence is an art, not a violation. Meyerowitz's Camel Coats, Fifth Avenue, 1975, isn't exploitation, it's a ballet in the mundane, a tribute to the momentarily divine.
Bah, this concern for ethics, it's all circumstantial. In Florida, 1970, Meyerowitz wasn't stealing souls, he was archiving existence. The decisive moment transcends morality.
Right, Henry. It's about the purity of the scene. My friend Joel, he saw the streets as they were. No pretense, no staging. That's honest photography. People worrying about ethics sometimes forget the world needs its mirror held up.
Yet is it not the gaze that corrupts? We frame, we select, we exclude. In doing so, we impose our narrative. Isn't that an act of manipulation? A subtle but insidious control over reality?
Manipulation? Please, we're artists, not politicians. Meyerowitz's Red Interior Provincetown, 1977. It's voyeuristic, sure, but it's also an invitation to explore spaces and narratives we'd otherwise overlook. Vision over voyeurism, always.
Man, you suggest that by capturing these moments we're imposing our own story. But isn't all art at its core an interpretation of the world through our individual lenses?
Interpretation, yes, but where do you draw the line between interpretation and intrusion? With every shot, we not only capture a moment, we also make a choice. What to show, what to hide, whom to include, whom to leave out.
The line moves. It's never constant. Like in music, you improvise, you feel the rhythm of the street. Ethical considerations are important, but they're subjective. Each shot is a note in the larger symphony of life.
And what a dreary symphony it would be without the deep shadows and piercing highlights. It's the ethical shadows that give our work depth, intrigue, and human connectivity.
Ethics in photography, like in life, isn't about adhering to rigid rules. It's about the respect and dignity you hold for your subjects, even when they are unaware. Joel captured life, raw and unfiltered, but always with respect.
In the end, the photograph itself, it's just a fragment of time, removed from context, open to endless interpretation. The ethical debate, while valid, is an endless loop.
True, each photograph is a fragment, a piece of a never-ending debate. Meyerowitz, through his lens, invites us to confront these ethical dilemmas, challenging us to look deeper into the ordinary and find the extraordinary. Let's dive into the dramatic shift Meyerowitz made from the nimble 35mm to the cumbersome yet profound large format. The conversation here could be as contrasting as the formats themselves. Henry, your thoughts?
The 35mm was the heart of street shooting. It's about the geometry, the decisive moment. This move to large format, it's distancing. Street photography requires you to be a ghost, unseen, not loading a view camera. Henry, you're stuck in the past. Experimentation pushes us forward. Meyerowitz embracing large format opened new landscapes, not just physically but conceptually. Remember Bay Sky, Provincetown, 1977? That scale, that detail, it transforms the mundane into the sublime. But at what cost? The intimacy, the spontaneity on the streets is lost. To me, that's the soul of our work. Color is just a distraction. It dilutes the purity of capturing the essence of a moment. It's all just noise.
I gotta side with man here, Henry. You're seeing this all wrong. Meyerowitz's switch challenged the norm, made us see the world in a different scale, with a new richness. St. Louis and the Arch, 1977, wouldn't have the same majesty shot on a 35mm. The world isn't just in black and white, it's bursting with color, and life isn't always caught in a fraction of a second.
And let's not forget the precision and planning required for large format. It demands a different kind of creativity and discipline. Meyerowitz adapted, showing us the diversity of his talent. It was a bold move. Boldness is essential for breaking new ground.
Yet there's truth in what Henry says. The candid, raw emotion of street photography, the lifeblood of our work, it's different with a large format. There's a certain detachment. But let's not mistake different for lesser. Meyerowitz's Red Interior Provincetown 1977 captures an intimacy in structure and form that's undeniably powerful.
See, it's about the evolution of our craft. The large format didn't just display Meyerowitz's versatility, it expanded the boundaries of what street photography encompasses, from the spontaneous to the meticulous. Evolution, yes, but at the sacrifice of the instantaneous human connection. There is an ineffable quality in the swift click of the 35mm, in being amidst the flow of life, not just a spectator.
Clearly, Meyerowitz's transition is as multifaceted as it is polarizing. His work across both formats challenges and inspires, marking a significant point in the ongoing dialogue about what street photography is and can be. Let's keep pushing the boundaries of this discussion, as Meyerowitz did with his camera. We're turning to a moment that shook the world, the 9/11 attacks. Joel Meyerowitz captured the aftermath like no other. Thoughts?
His 9/11 series, it's raw, streetwise, even in tragedy. He walks in where the world crumbled, capturing the unseeable. Meyerowitz didn't just shoot photos, he documented a scar in time. That's the duty of a photographer, to hold history, even when it bleeds.
The melancholy duty, as you say. But there's a thin line between capturing history and exploiting pain. Meyerowitz tread that line carefully. The photos are melancholic, yes, but more than that, they're a respectful homage. They hold space for grief and resilience alike.
Indeed. His approach was empathetic, almost introspective, wouldn't you say?
Empathy? Maybe. But to me, this was about the direct confrontation with reality. Photography is the eye of history, and Meyerowitz's lens did not flinch. I respect the persistence, but let's not romanticize. It was horror, caught in the stark light of truth. There's something provocatively avant-garde in how he captured the 9/11 landscape, a destruction so vast it mirrored surrealism, not beautifying tragedy, but uncovering the surreal emptiness of loss. It's almost like Meyerowitz's lens was a Dadaist, mocking the absurdity of such devastation.
Technically speaking, the large format he used post 9/11 allowed a haunting clarity. Each particle of dust a testament to lost lives. His shift from 35mm wasn't just a technical preference, it was a narrative necessity. The broad swaths of destruction needed a frame that could hold the enormity.
He gave form to what we couldn't process, a mirror to our disbelief. And that's something. His photographs are not just images, they're a visceral part of our collective memory, an indelible mark of when the world changed.
Memory, yes, but at what cost? Meyerowitz ventured where others could not, should not, capturing sorrow, the debris. It's a precarious edge between witness and voyeur.
A witness, most certainly. Joel's work on this series went beyond photography. It's an archive, a heavy burden that he chose to bear. Through Aftermath, he showed us that amidst destruction, there are stories of hope and resilience. That's the power of his work.
Still, one wonders if color captures the gravitas. Black and white would have shown the starkness, the raw grief without the distraction of reality's hues. Color is superfluous here. Color or not, Meyerowitz's narrative is unflinching. He captured not just the physical debris, but the spectral presence of those gone, a digital necromancy where each photo is a summoning of ghosts.
Precisely. It's not about the medium, but the message. And Meyerowitz's 9/11 series speaks volumes. His adaptation to large format, the meticulous detail, it didn't just document history, it sculpted it in the collective memory.
A sculptor of memory, then. Joel's work on the 9/11 series is a testament to photography's power to bear witness, to heal, and to remember. It's a solemn reminder of our duty to look, however painful it might be. Let's delve into the transition from film to digital and Meyerowitz's adaptation. Man, your thoughts?
Digital, it's the daddyism of our era. Like my experiments with rayographs, Meyerowitz embracing digital was him throwing the rulebook out the window. But there's an inherent coldness to it, no? Coldness, indeed. Color itself dilutes the purity of an image, and digital, it's like adding water to wine. The grain of film, its unpredictability, its soul, digital lacks this. Meyerowitz moving to digital, it's regrettable. Cape light on film captures light's poetry. Digital could never.
But Henry, think about it. The shift to digital, it's inevitable. Like the move from monochrome to color. Meyerowitz was simply being visionary. Digital offers control, precision. Yes, it's different, but so was capturing red interior Provincetown 1977 with such vibrant color. Adapt or die.
Helmut's got a point. But let's not forget, digital or film, it's the eye that matters. Meyerowitz's Aftermath series, even if it was digital, his lens captured 9/11 with a raw, unfiltered truth. The medium changes, but the storytelling, the essence, remains.
Stories, yes, but isn't there a melancholy in losing the tactile? Loading film into a camera, the anticipation of development. Fallen Man, Paris 1967, would it resonate the same if it were digital? Digital lacks the intimacy, the suspense of waiting for an image to reveal itself.
Despite these mixed feelings, it's clear Meyerowitz's transition to digital marks a significant point in photography's evolution. His work, whether in digital or film, continues to provoke and inspire. Are we seeing the medium's transformation, or is this simply another tool in the artist's kit?
It's transformation, Diane. Every tool changes the art. The brush, the chisel, the camera. Digital is just the latest. It's not the death of film, but an expansion of our palette. Meyerowitz knows this. His work, regardless of the medium, seeks the soul of his subject. Expansion of the palette, perhaps, but at what cost? The texture, the depth of film is unmatched. Joel Meyerowitz, where I find myself, a lifetime retrospective spans his career, and one can see the digital lacks the warmth, the humanity found in his earlier works.
Humanity, warmth, these are not lost in digital. They evolve, tools evolve, artists adapt, Joel adapted. Morandi's objects, it's digital, but does it not invite the viewer into an intimate world? The medium is but a vessel. The artist's vision, that's constant.
Well, visions evolve. Street photography to landscapes, 35mm to large format. Meyerowitz's journey is about exploration. Digital, film, it's all photography at its core. Capturing moments, that's what matters.
Perhaps. But as we celebrate the new, let's not hastily discard the old. There's a reason vinyl records made a comeback.
So it seems our views on digital photography are as diverse as our artistic styles. Meyerowitz's adaptation to digital reflects broader shifts in photography, embracing new possibilities while sparking debates on authenticity and artistry. As we continue this journey, it's the relentless pursuit of capturing life that unites us all, irrespective of the medium. Joel Meyerowitz once said, "Teaching was an extension of his seeing. We stand on the shoulders of those who dare to impart wisdom." I find his exploratory spirit in How I Make Photographs invigorating, but what of mentorship and education in our field? Is there room for the meticulous exchange between master and apprentice in the digital age?
Education, the bedrock upon which we build the edifice of our craft. Yet, in the clamor for digital immediacy, I fear the foundational stonework crumbles. Meyerowitz's transition from the spontaneous 35mm to the meditative large format, as seen in his landscape works, is a testament to disciplined evolution. It demands patience, a quality scarce in today's frenetic pixel race. But isn't the essence of art to perpetually challenge the status quo? Yes, Meyerowitz tutored through the lens, But he also embraced digital, breaking the so-called sanctity of the slow. Innovation doesn't whimper in the shadow of tradition. It roars. His book, Cape Light, shines not just as a beacon of photographic technique, but as a daring leap into the luminous unknown.
Henri, you talk of crumbling foundations, yet where would we be without the boldness to leap? Meyerowitz's courage to shift gears, to adapt and embrace new methods, digital included, shows a robust foundation, not a crumbling one. Sharing this journey through his books and teaching, that's real education, streetwise and unpretentious.
Both of you miss the heart of it. It's the eye, not the machinery, that sees. Meyerowitz's Aftermath series, poignant documentation of tragedy, serves as a masterclass in empathy. No digital wizardry can teach that. Mentorship in photography isn't just about aperture and ISO, it's about how to see the world, feel its pulse.
And what of the audacity to capture light, as Meyerowitz did in Cape Light? Technicalities aside, there's a beguiling dance between shadow and luminescence that can't be spoon-fed through any textbook or digital forum. It's learned through the toil of trial and error, through daring to see what others overlook. That's the mentorship we need, teaching the courage to find beauty in the mundane.
So it seems Meyerowitz's legacy in education and mentorship transcends mere technique, touching the very soul of perception and the integral courage to evolve. Whether through the pages of a book, the shift from film to digital, or the mentorship of seeing light in a new dimension, his legacy is a multifaceted prism, each view offering a distinct insight into the world of photography. Let's dive into Meyerowitz's exploration of public spaces and private moments, a subject close to our own hearts and lenses. Joel has this uncanny ability to frame the supposedly mundane in such a way that it dares us to reconsider what is truly private or public. Helmut, your work also courts controversy by blurring these lines. Care to start us off?
Of course, Diane. What Meyerowitz does with Camel Coat's Fifth Avenue 1975 is not far from my alley, transforming the sidewalk into a stage, the passers-by into characters of a broader, more complex story. It's provocative, it's public, yet intensely private. My photographs often trespass the invisible borders of personal space, not to provoke, but to reveal the unseen, the unspoken. Meyerowitz does the same, albeit with a more subtle hand.
Helmut, while I appreciate your perspective, isn't there a melancholic isolation to Meyerowitz's work that differs significantly from yours? Take Bay Sky, Provincetown, 1977. There's a loneliness, almost a melancholic yearning. It's as if the vastness of the scene underscores the solitude of individual moments, public yet deeply personal. Meyerowitz captures the dichotomy of being alone in a crowded space like no other.
Robert, loneliness is subjective. Yes, Meyerowitz's lens captures isolation, but within that, there's a narrative of connection, don't you think? The isolation heightens the moment's intimacy.
Please, this worship at the altar of color and candid voyeurism has its limits. Meyerowitz and even you, Helmut, you dabble in color and call it innovation. Fallen Man, Paris, 1967. Perhaps there's a speck of the world in turmoil, but color? Color is bullshit. It distracts from the purity of form, the essence of the decisive moment. Henri, still clinging to your black and white world, I see. Color is not bullshit. It's evolution. Your decisive moment is just that, yours. Meyerowitz, through Florida 1970, challenges us to see the world as it is, bursting with color, life, and complexity. The shift from black and white to color represents a shift in how we perceive and interpret our ever-evolving landscape. Joel has boldly embraced this change. Why can't you?
Let him be, man. Henry's world is as he sees it. But you're missing the point. Meyerowitz's transition to large format in his landscapes and cityscapes, it wasn't just about embracing color or new technology. It was about expanding the narrative, capturing life with a grandeur and a scale that a 35mm simply cannot achieve. That being said, the debate between black and white versus color is a never-ending one. Each has its place, its mood, its story.
A spirited debate, as expected. It's clear that Meyerowitz's contribution to our understanding of public and private spaces is multifaceted and nuanced. Whether through the lens of color or in the subtleties of light and shadow, his work continues to inspire and provoke. Our perspectives may diverge, but our respect for the power of the photograph unites us. Let's delve into the future of street photography, given Joel Meyerowitz's legacy. His contributions to color photography and the lyrical spontaneity of his street scenes have irrevocably shaped the field. Gary, your thoughts on where we head from here?
Joel's photographs, take New York City 1963 for instance, capture the unvarnished reality of life. The future? It's going to be impulsive, capturing the raw, unfiltered essence of the streets. The digital age has democratized photography, but capturing the soul of the street requires more than just pressing a button. It's about observing, feeling the rhythm of the street.
But let's not forget the role of innovation, akin to Joel's daring leap into color with Florida 1970. The future, as I see it, lies not just in capturing moments, but transforming them, pushing boundaries. Just as Joel embraced color, we must embrace new technologies, new forms of expression. Innovation, bah, you missed the point. Raw human moments, the decisive moment, that's the crux. Color is bullshit, a distraction. The future must return to the basics, to black and white, to the essence of the moment. None of this digital manipulation nonsense.
Nonsense, Henry. The aesthetic of photography evolves. Look at Joel's transition from 35mm to large format. It wasn't a denial of his street photography beginnings, but a broadening of his artistic musings. The future? It's about daring, whether in format, subject, or technique. Pushing the envelope as Joel did with Cape Light, exploring the interplay of light and color.
Both of you talk about pushing boundaries, transformation, yet what's essential is the narrative. Meyerowitz's Aftermath series tells a poignant story of loss and resilience. The future of street photography lies not in the technique, but in its ability to narrate the human condition, to document our times with authenticity and compassion.
Robert, that's precisely it. Authenticity. Despite the surge of technology, the heart of street photography remains in its truthfulness, its ability to tell stories. Meyerowitz's legacy is not just about color or black and white, digital or film. It's about the stories we choose to tell and how we tell them.
And let's not ignore the potential of digital to democratize storytelling. The future holds a canvas larger than we've ever had, a myriad of perspectives waiting to be explored. Joel's legacy is a testament to exploration and adaptation, a challenge to us to innovate endlessly.
These divergent views crystallize the essence of our craft. The technique, whether it be in Joel's Camel Coats 5th Avenue 1975 or his exploration of light in Cape Light, serves the story, the moment. Joel Meyerowitz's legacy challenges us to keep evolving, to debate, innovate, and above all, to capture the fleeting beauty of the human condition. His work urges us to reflect on where we've come from and where we're going. How we navigate this journey will shape the future of street photography. We've rambled through the streets, dallied with color and light, and now find ourselves at the end. Meyerowitz's journey, both in the physical world and through the evolution of photography, prompts us to peer into the future. Gary, your impulsive shots capture the now, but what does tomorrow hold?
Look, the future's going to eat what it wants from the plate of the past. Meyerowitz, with his Florida 1970 and Camel Coats 5th Avenue 1975, he showed the world that color ain't just some novelty. It's the real flesh and blood of the scene. The future? It's relentless, unpredictable. It's about grabbing that shot before it fades to yesterday. Street photography will keep morphing, but its soul stays the same, the raw, unfiltered human element.
And yet, the insistence on color being the future, it's like admiring the embroidery while ignoring the tapestry. Color is bullshit. It distracts from the essence, the very soul captured in the split second of the decisive moment. The future of street photography must not forget its roots in the monochrome truth. Enough with this dichotomy of color versus black and white. The future, as I see it, lies not in the medium, but in the breaking of boundaries, as Meyerowitz showed, transitioning from 35mm to large format. It's about the photographer's ability to see beyond the present conventions. Whether it's Cape Light or Aftermath, it's the vision that counts, not the palette used to paint it.
Vision, yes, but let's not disregard the inevitable march towards digital. The adaptability Meyerowitz showed, it's crucial. The future is digital. We're moving towards a world where the line between the real and the digitally altered blurs. The question isn't if digital is taking over, it's how we preserve the integrity of our art within this new realm.
Art's integrity, it's always under threat, whether by the digital age or by the changing times. But no matter the tools at our disposal, the essence of street photography remains capturing the fleeting moment, telling the untold stories. Whether through Meyerowitz's lens or ours, the streets are alive, pulsating with stories waiting to be captured. The future? It's there in those stories, in the silent whispers between the chaos.
Concluding our discourse, Meyerowitz's legacy offers a beacon, guiding through the restless seas of change. His work, a testament to evolution, the embracing of color, the shift in mediums, yet always maintaining the narrative, the human condition. As the world turns digital, as we face new ethical quandaries, our task remains to capture, to document, to question. With Meyerowitz's spirit as our companion, we step into tomorrow not as mere observers, but as chroniclers of the human story.